Welcome to my episode today on guilt and shame, the good and bad, how to use both for your mental well-being and balance. Now, today's episode was scheduled to be about motivation, but last Sunday at my parish church, my pastor gave a striking homily that I couldn't resist to tell you about. And what he said was that it was like a mindset insight and restructure of how we should rethink guilt and shame. I was so captivated by this that I had to share it with you. So follow me here and listen to this because I completely agree with him on this insight. And he's a learned man. Much study has gone into his background, so we have to listen. Before I get to the guilt and shame though, let me explain the situations that put us in this mode of thinking and practice. Sometimes people do bad things to each other, or even to themselves. They hurt each other in relationships, between friends, parents, partners, and marriage. And sometimes you don't know the person and you may hurt them in some way, like physically, God forbid, stealing, God forbid, scams, words, and of course actions of all kinds. Other times we do something that's unintentional to hurt someone. In other words, we didn't realize or we didn't understand that our words or our actions could hurt someone else or someone we know and care about. Our choices are not always well thought out, and the consequences are or can be very, very hurtful. So, for example, you could be in a conversation with people and saying something that offends another person or makes them feel bad, like less than others or you. If you knew that, you probably wouldn't have said it, or you would have rephrased it. So it's true, you cannot predict how people will receive everything, and you have a right to express yourself, right? But with a little tact would be nice and considerate for others. You never know what people's opinions are. I'm going through these scenarios for a reason, so bear with me here so you can identify with it in a few minutes. So now we have established a possible and tentative act. We've taken an action that hurt someone or people in a group, maybe. Whether we realized it or not, it still happened. At some point, if we have a conscience, and I assume most of you do, and we are informed or told that what we did or said hurt someone or many other people, the normal reaction to this information should be to make you feel bad. The bad of it is usually in the form of guilt. Guilt is a necessary factor in reparation, as you will understand. Guilt allows you to recall the actions, thoughts, words, or recount them so that you can move out of guilt into apologizing, making restitution in some way. You can't have restoration, reconciliation, or restitution without acknowledgement of actions taken, and it only happens through guilt and admittance of wrongdoing. This is all good, it serves a purpose. However, one caution is not to wallow in the guilt to depression or low self-worth. Yes, it's good to examine ourselves and in what we are doing and saying, but when it moves to shame, my pastor said, that can be damaging to us and our mental state of being and cause us to do more evil. Being yourself is never easy, but the recovery of your actions could be harmful and dangerous. Shame can take you to another course or path to do something worse. Maybe telling yourself, for example, well, I'm so bad, I might as well fulfill my worth and stay bad. Shaming also can take you to a disorder like imposter syndrome, whereby you feel unqualified or incompetent, a fraud, a phony, self-doubt to do well or be successful. You can see where this is going, right? And it's hard to come back from the negativity sometimes. In leaving the shame, foremost and highly important is to acknowledge our wrong, maybe have an apology whenever or wherever we have the opportunity. In apologizing, we are becoming more aware of our choices, being kind and considerate to someone else's feelings, and growing in humility. There is nothing more unsettling than a person who is arrogant, the opposite of humility, pride. Humility is always a trait that is attractive for others to want to be around. In humility, you can confront or admit your assets, but not for the reason of feeling superior or exceptional. Humility is recognizing the gifts you have been given to use for others, and they only come from God or a higher power. They are not your complete doing, and you are not alone. This is impossible because as humans, we are too weak, too fragile, and too broken, and cannot make it alone. On the flip side of that, we are capable of great accomplishments, and we are very resilient as people to life challenges. But we need each other and our ultimate source in God to succeed. He does not want us to beat ourselves up, and neither do I want you to do that. He does not want us to shame ourselves. He wants us to admit our wrongs, maybe apologize where we can, and move to the next phase, which is doing better next time and in the future. This is a humble admittance within itself. In apologizing or making amends, it is a humble act and will help you purify your mental state and being. In my last podcast video episode, I talked about the way we talk to ourselves is crucial to our success. There is no room for negative self-talk in our growth mindset. There is only room for positive and uplifting, inspiring, and motivating self-talk. That doesn't mean we are perfect. It means we can admit our areas to be improved, but as I have said, no shaming. It's quite different to admit shortcomings and acknowledge them and try to improve what we need to continue in our life path. But as you can see, there is no place for shame. It is only kindness that you use on yourself in the form of words to improve. So if I were talking to myself, I would say, for example, Catherine, I've been doing a good job in motivating myself, but I think I might improve it a little more so I can get up earlier to exercise. Whatever your thing is, there is no negativity or reprimand in my self-talk. In fact, I credit myself first with acknowledging my past performance, but I admit I could use a bit more inspiration to arise earlier in the morning for something beneficial to myself. This is how you always talk to yourself. No shame here, only support. Who is your best supporter anyway? You are. So let's review today's discussion. When something goes wrong from a choice that you made, acknowledging it is first, and that comes from feeling guilt. Not wallowing in the guilt, but giving it weight enough to feel sorry for hurt inflicted and turn it into doing something good. Not resorting to shame, where no good will come from it, only more bad, possibly. It's self-destructive, and it takes you away from God and into evil to yourself or someone else. Take care of yourself. You count big time because you have humble traits that the world needs, and you have the ability to share them and even an obligation to use them for good, not bad. You are in control here, and you choose right from wrong, no one else. We do not allow our minds to take over. We control our thoughts and actions to be of worth or to fall by the curbside. Taking charge is courage, fortitude, awareness, purpose, and your God-given gifts. Use them well to share with the world and whoever needs them. Thank you for joining me today, and please leave your likes, comments, and questions for me. You can also go to my website for more information at catherinebarron.com or shoot me an email at catherine@catherinebarron.com or text me at 213-3000-183. Have a blessed day. See you in my next episode on motivation, what stops you from having motivation, and how to take action and stop procrastinating your life. See you soon. Have a great day.